Hello. So if you're here, you have tight shoulders. A lot of times we just try and address the issue where we feel discomfort, but we need to sort of look at what else is connected in the body, right? So for this short little practice, ideally you would have a foam roller. If you don't have this, you could roll up a towel, a blanket, even a narrow bolster. It would be wonderful for the myofascial release portion if you had a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. If you don't, a yoga block is going to work really well too. So before we do anything, just reach overhead. How do your shoulders feel? Tight, open, etc. We'll do that again at the end. We'll start really simply with some breath. So as you inhale, think about not just expansion of the ribs vertically, but horizontally. So sending the breath down and out on an inhale. With your exhale, gently contract. So we're trying to use the diaphragm as we breathe. We can take a few breaths together. So an inhale, an exhale, two more like that, in and out. Last time as I inhale, I get a little taller. As I exhale, I land a little bit more. And we're going to start up here. So with an inhale, send your head around in one direction. As you look up, you exhale. We'll do about 3 in each direction. So that's a third for me. It could be nice at home to dim the lights, put on some gentle music, or maybe you do this with something going on in the background, whatever works for you. Hands will stay at knees. As we inhale, we're going to pull our chest forward. As we exhale, we'll roll back past our sit bones. So a little bit of seated cat-cow. Pairing breath with movement, although this isn't really a yoga video, but we can still benefit from that. And you could keep going here, or we can turn this into a rib circle. So I'm just generally right now trying to help you unstick everything. As you pull through, you notice some cow pose. As you pull back, you notice some cat pose. And then we switch directions. And we're just kind of curious about what we find. Curious, not judgmental. Okay, so things are sort of warm. We've explored a little bit. We are going to get supine. So first, lie down. I recommend planting your feet. Maybe you knock your knees in. Take your hands below your ribs, above your belly button. That's where your diaphragm lives. So again, think as you inhale, expansion in all directions. As you exhale, a gentle drawing in. Tip your chin down to lengthen your neck. Roll to the side. Position your foam roller, your rolled up blanket the horizontal way. And then bring your hands behind your head. You want to be able to see your elbows. So we're getting into the thoracic spine here. This is the most mobile part of the spine, but often it's very stuck. And what have you got back here? You have your shoulder blades. So you can play around. Some of you might like this a little lower. Some of you might like it a little higher. For some of you, you can get really heavy through your glutes and you can arc back. For others, that's not going to feel good. If you're here, you may take thumbs to the base of the skull and drag the skin up, creating some space at the base of your neck and your occipital ridge. And yes, ribs are flaring here. We are trying to create some opening. So then root your feet down, tuck your chin, come on up, nice and careful. And then we're going to flip onto our bellies. So this is where if you have that lacrosse ball, you're going to bring it to your pectoral muscle. So that's going to be upper chest, both sides. When we round like this all day, we shorten these muscles. So when we lengthen them, ooh, we find some space. So you come down onto your belly. If you have the ball, there you go. And it might be a little hard to see, but I'm really just finding points that feel tight, breathing into them, and then moving just a little bit over. If you are not fortunate enough to have a lacrosse ball or similar, maybe you have a yoga block and you use that corner in the same way. Yoga blocks are great for myofascial release. If it feels too intense, it's too intense. So again, breathing into these spaces. Ideally 30 seconds to 90 seconds per side. I'm not going to do the full thing here. If I hadn't switched props, that would probably be about 30 seconds. So we'll do the same thing on the left side. And again, I'm finding some places that feel kind of painful, but I can breathe through them. I'm breathing in and out. I'm looking for just a tiny bit of give, and then I'm moving on to the next spot. Trying not to bring tension to other parts of my body. I'm going to push back up to seat. So I feel a little wigglier. I tend to sit with my left leg in front, so I just crossed my right. You can switch it up. So our shoulders primarily move up, elevation, down, depression, and then there's retraction when you pull your shoulder blades together. And there's protraction when you pull them apart. And we don't always move through all of these motions, and so we can get a little stuck. Also, we often borrow from the rib cage or other parts to make these motions happen. So I don't want my shoulder coming too far forward. I've got my hand tapped here. As I inhale, I'm elevating, I'm lifting the shoulder as high as I can. As I exhale, I come through neutral, match with my other shoulder, and then depress. I'm making the shoulder blade come as low as I can. So I'm inhaling and exhaling. And this is going to feel a little clunky. You can see that mine is a little bit jerky. We're just going to slow it down. My shoulder keeps wanting to creep up in front. I've got to keep it back. You can tell I've been at the computer all day. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my other hand, place that shoulder back where it needs to be, and then inhale, squeezing all the way up to my ears. Exhale, coming through neutral, recognizing that, and then pulling it down. This shoulder glides a little bit more easily for me. You will probably find that you are asymmetrical as well. One more. So we can do them together. Inhale, scrunch, scrunch, and exhale. So we find neutral. We're going to try not to lift or lower. Now we're going to bring the shoulder blades together and apart. So as you inhale, squeeze like you're going to squeeze a pencil. As you exhale, come through neutral, and then you do round as you spread. So this is your retraction. Control your ribs. And this is your protraction. Let's do two more. I am contracting my muscles pretty significantly. I'm creating some resistance. And now I'm backing off. So we're going to put those motions together. So make sure that your shoulders, your spine is stacked. Inhale, you elevate, you retract, you depress, you protract, and oh my, we have a circle. You start to feel every part of the circle in a way that I don't think we do normally. Then we can reverse that. We can retract, elevate, protract, depress. And that just becomes a circle in another way. All right, give it a shake to one side, a shake the other. So there is some standing work that I like to do with folks. I'm going to weave this in here. So we can inhale like we're bringing something up that we want, and exhale like we're pressing it down. And then the same thing, we can draw in and we can push out. And you might notice that my shoulders are going up and my shoulders are going down. My shoulders are coming together and my shoulders are coming apart. We'll do that one more time. Those movements alone might loosen up your shoulders. You're also welcome to come through to tabletop. Sometimes it's easier to feel some of the movements here. So I'm scrunching up and I'm drawing down, scrunching up and drawing down. And then I've got my retraction, looks a little bit like sinking, and my protraction, I'm pushing the ground away. Retract, protract, and we can put those together in some circles. It can feel a little odd. Oh, but I feel such a good like crunch in the shoulders, like I'm getting at stuff. All right, and then from here, we'll go into a cat-cow. So inhale, your tailbone comes up, your belly drops down, your chest opens, the shoulder blades come together. As you exhale, they come apart. So this is now being initiated by my pelvis, but it's rippling through my spine. And now I feel the part that's in my shoulders. A few more rounds. And find a neutral spine. Keep your hips over your knees. Walk your hands out. Find a puppy pose. So your block or book could come in handy here under your chin or your forehead. Or maybe this feels okay to you. One more breath in and out. Gently walk your hands back. If it's comfortable, we're going to find our way onto a block, heroes-ish pose, and we'll bring it up and bring it down, pull it in and push it out. Two more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Just feel a nice glide because we've freed up everything around the shoulders and the shoulders. Okay. Any way that feels good to you, make your way onto your back. Plant my feet, send my arms out wide. So I'm gonna pull this left shoulder forward. See how I'm rotating, not from the wrist, but from my actual shoulder. So I'm gonna do that a few times on the left side. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the right. So my palm turns down as my shoulder turns down. Just pause at center. So my left shoulder will come down, my right will come up, and then the opposite. So you can, I think you can see well enough on camera. We start to add a drop of our knees to the left as my right shoulder turns down. Inhale through center. Drop knees to the right as my left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder. Ooh, little ringing out here. Bring your knees into your chest. Tuck your chin. Rock and roll up to seat. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Pull it up. Push it down. Pull it in. Push it out. Last time. Up. Down. In. Out. Wet noodle on one side. Wet noodle on the other. Give yourself that reach test again. And hopefully you have some more shoulder mobility than you did when you started a little while ago. Leave comments, questions, whatever it might be. See you next time.